Jarvis Landry. Again, we didn't have a great vantage point today, and I know they didn't show a lot on the stream, but what we did see was number 80 looked a little bit like number 80 out there, sort of what we expected. And this is a guy that had hip surgery, supposed to be out about 8 months. That's about the timetable we're on right now. And, we'll see how he recovers, if he's going to have to take some days off, off and on, if the Browns need to slow play it a little bit. But Mary Kay, from what we could see, it looked like the Jarvis we know.
Yeah, it was good to see him out there in an early team drill. Again, to remember, they are not in pads today. This is really an OTA kind of day. Today and Sunday will be OTAs, and that means just, shells and shorts, no contact, no pads. That happens on Monday for the first time. I'm guessing that maybe Jarvis might dial it back a little bit when they're in 11 on 11s, in pads, going full speed, and allowing some contact. Right now, this is a good way to try to get some of that offense versus defense work. And one of the first things that we saw, or at least I hear a rumor that we saw, him catch about a 55-yard touchdown pass from Baker Mayfield.
I wrote Kadarrell Hodges' name down. He made a couple plays today, which is an interesting thing to keep an eye on, because that's a guy that could be in the mix for a third or fourth wide receiver. And Scott, we've talked about this before. This is a guy that can help on special teams as well, so he's got that little bit of an edge too.
I do think he has some names to jump there, though. But I do think that having that special teams aspect of his game is a definite plus. I mean, it's why he was here in the first place. Him and Taywan Taylor as well, to an extent. So yeah, it's good to hear that he's making plays, and at least there's another guy who's kind of in the mix there. Because I think going into today's practice, you're thinking Higgins and maybe Ratley and the rookie Donovan Peoples-Jones is the top candidates for that third spot.
We can stick with the wide receivers, but in a special teams light, JoJo Natson surprised me today. Not because I was surprised he was back there returning punts, and sometimes you can look too much into this, but he was fielding punts in front of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And I've been talking all offseason that was probably Peoples-Jones' spot. And I guess, you kind of forget about JoJo Natson, they look like completely different football players. One's 5'7", one's 6'2", and you could see it when they're standing next to each other back there returning kicks. And that's going to be an intriguing battle to watch. I'm not really have no clue who's going to win that. They're both explosive players on tape, and they're both very different builds. But that's the beauty of football. One guy can do two guys can do the same job and make plays back there, and it's going to be fun to see who wins that one.
But there was another player that stood out today, Dan. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I don't.
Come on.
I probably might.
Come on. Take a guess.
Sheldrick Redwine.
Yes. Tell us.
I have him in my notebook.
Tell us what you saw from Sheldrick Redwine today, Dan.
I saw 2 interceptions. There was at least one in 11 on 11, and I'm fairly certain he had another one in one-on-ones. I'm pretty confident that was a 29 that I saw. If not, then I'm giving him credit for one. But he had one in 11 on 11, which is really what matters. So, Sheldrick Redwine, look, safety's wide open. He's a second-year guy. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, and Carl Joseph can't practice right now, or at least he's kind of dialing it back or taking it easy because he's got the foot injury. So he wasn't really out there with the starters that much today. I don't even know if I saw him at all in the 11 on 11s that I did get a chance to see. I think that, for the most part, he was not out there for that. So it is a chance for a guy like Sheldrick Redwine to get out there and show what he can do. And Kevin Stefanski is very intent on not only getting his starters ready to play, but getting those backups ready, because who knows, at any given moment, someone might have to check out with the virus.